Yo, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to my channel, my name is SweetPhil. I generally did a ton of Diablo 2 content. I've had this channel for several years now. And then when Diablo 2 Resurrected came out, I switched over to that. So you can tell I'm kind of more of an old school gamer. And in my opinion, Diablo 2 Resurrected and Diablo 2 in general, one of the best games ever made. Now, my initial rating for Diablo 4 after the first season came out, all that good stuff, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Now, some people say, hey man, it's a little bit too low. And then of course there's the D4 bad meme crowd that obviously Diablo 4 is the worst game ever made, right guys? Worst game ever made. But in my opinion, it's definitely not. It's not a terrible game. I think giving it a 5 out of 10 mid score initially after season 1 is incredibly fair. Now, I'm not really one to play a ton of new games, so you're going to kind of get my perspective and a perspective from somebody who's doing a holy grail. If you don't know what that is, it's trying to find every single unique in the entire game of Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I've been doing single player, doing that for a year and a half now. I haven't found every single item yet. So this is the type of perspective you're going to get from me here in this game. Now, I know this is not a game exactly like Diablo 2, but we're going to have some of that flavor kind of, going after the review here. So obviously that's going to be the opinion you put on it. Now, first off, one thing I want to talk about here is the vampiric powers and kind of the seasonal theme. Now, initially, what did I kind of think of it? I didn't like it. But once I actually took like 10 minutes to actually kind of get used to what it exactly was and figured out what it was, I actually started to like this right here, fellas. So you just want to go ahead and get these vampiric powers kind of as fast as you can. You're going to want to go into the quest. It looks like these leaves. That's the seasonal quest line. And once you just quickly get into it, you're going to start opening up these green areas like right here. And these are the blood harvests. Now, the blood harvest will always have like these 3 quests in the middle. And you notice they also have grim favors. There's 5, there's 3, and there's 3. So if you jump into this blood harvest area, you're going to come do these 3 quests and you're going to get 10 grim favors to come up to the Tree of Whispers. Boom. You get a ton of experience for that. And also the density in these areas is astronomical. Let me go ahead and hop over there and just show you super quick how dense these areas really are. I'm going to be honest, for leveling, this made the 1 to 40 leveling, in my opinion, way better. As we go out there, I'll point out another one of the changes that I think made the game better, a little bit better anyways. The horse is speed demon. It's so quick. But you notice the monsters literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. It's crazy the density. They just keep funneling in. They'll spawn literally right in your screen. So that is one thing why it's so good. And you notice gold everywhere. I haven't sold anything yet, and I have almost 9 million gold. And I just got into World Tier 3. So that was just gold from World Tier 2 pretty much. So you're scrapping everything. You got tons, plenty of materials. So out here, you're going to be perfectly fine. Super fast leveling because of the density, because of the whispers. Completing these different quests out here. On top of that, you get more experience. So I think that it kind of greatly improved the 1 to 40 leveling experience. I know a lot of people probably didn't have a problem with it, but in my opinion, it was a little bit lacking. I know more of the 70 plus was what people kind of complained more about, but I think that's a good change. On top of that, I don't see any around here, but if there are any barriers, you blast right through the barriers with the horse as well. So there's another good change right there. When we take a look at the gear, they go ahead and you see down at the bottom of this gear right here, see I can point to it. The skills are at the very bottom. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at another piece of gear, let's go ahead and take a look at, this one's comparing it to the unique helm up there. You see it right next to my head. The skills at the very bottom. So it makes it easier to compare stuff because all the stuff is in the same area. This is all stuff from the patch notes, but I just want to talk about it has worked good and it is done correctly. Now, you might notice these different pieces down here. This is part of the vampiric quest line for the stuff over here. I'm not going to fully explain it all. I guess we can look at a video over that. But in general, the way that these different tokens, sigils, I forget what they're called exactly, the skulls, the pointy helmets, and the chalices, the way this is all done, I think it's easy enough to kind of understand. It does give you quite a bit of power super early on because these blood harvests, they're straight from World Tier 1, straight in World Tier 2, straight from the beginning. You don't have to go ahead and get the Hell Tide in World Tier 3. Also, on top of that, you can actually get the regular Tree of Whispers inside of this particular, the Blood Harvest zone. And if you get one of those, I mean, the best way I can explain this to you fellas, it's almost like getting a Terrorized Andaro. Like when that pops up, you want to drop everything and go do it, because you're going to be slapping down these monsters. You're going to be getting all the blood vials. You're going to be just trust me, the experience goes absolutely crazy when you have one of those types of situations. Just super quickly, next to note, you'll go ahead and look over here and scroll down. There's all these gem fragments right here. Now, that's way better than having your stash filled up with gems. So you go over to the gem person or whatever their name is, you know what I'm talking about, jeweler or something, and you go ahead and craft those gems up. So that's one that I didn't really, you don't even really notice, because when you don't have to pick them up, you don't worry about picking them up, so you don't really think about it. But it does help out the inventory real nice. Another good thing about these blood harvests is, like right here, these vials and these keys, they stick around forever. Even when this timer runs out in the blood harvest, when the next one starts, you have this stuff. It goes with you forever, and it even comes with you between world tiers. Important to note. Now, for alarming things about this, things that I think are going to be negative, one thing, they messed up the streamer mode. I'm going to go ahead, I'll just show you in the clan. It's got just a random name, because for some reason, if I don't have this set to streamer mode to block my name, and this character's name is Phyllis, you know, Phyllis, funny, but it literally doxes my entire name over here, my real life name. So I don't know why they did that. I heard they're working on getting that fixed, or I don't know why that happened. So that's a negative for me, and that's just kind of a blunderous oversight. And obviously, for the negatives, we got to go ahead and throw in the season was delayed. Now, people are taking time off of work. They're getting babysitters to play and stuff like that, because a lot of Diablo fans are like, well, let's be honest, I don't have a lot of hair up here. You could probably guess I'm not that young of a gentleman. I'm 37 years old. I got kids. I got a family. Got stuff I got to take care of. And that really set it back a bunch. Like, I had some hours to play. I got someone to pick my kid up from school. So that's very, very unfortunate. On top of that, I heard Reddit launch. I don't know if it was ever corrected. I believe it was, but crossplay didn't work. So there was some problems with all of that different stuff. So that's obviously going to kind of a big black eye, but it's kind of been corrected as far as I'm aware. Definitely the game's working. I'm playing it. So that's just one thing to take into consideration, I guess, with the new season. I know a lot of people are going to harp on that one negative. I've heard it already. Things happen. It's been corrected. I'm moving on. Another thing that's just slightly alarming, like I said, I just got into World Tier 3. I'm level 51 currently. I found 2 uniques already. The guy I was with playing when I came into World Tier 3, he got a couple of uniques already. And I've been seeing people just popping uniques left and right. People have been saying, oh, the rains are coming, and they're just posting left and right their pictures of their unique items, just finding several of them right off the bat. On top of that, I've heard people going after Uber Duriel, or just the Duriel. I don't know what they call it in this game. Farming Duriel to get the Uber uniques, but maybe they're not going to be Uber uniques anymore. Like I seen Lucky, very first run for Duriel, he got himself in Daryl's Visage. I know some other people, they went after Duriel as well on some of their non-seasonal characters, because you can go ahead and do that. And they're all pulling these Uber uniques instantly. So I don't know, maybe they're going to correct that and change it, but an Uber unique isn't an Uber unique if everybody finds it instantly. So that's one thing they're going to have to take a look at. Maybe that's how they'll have it and leave it for one season or something. I'm not really sure, but, or they're just trying to appease like the Diablo 3 crowd, where the items just rain from the sky and everyone has perfect gear super quick. I don't know. Personally, like I said, I come from Diablo 2 background, where I'm doing a holy grail. We try to find every single unique item in the game. I have 2 items remaining. I've been playing this account for a year and a half, and I don't have every item. So the idea for me is these Uber uniques should be incredibly rare, but there should be way more of them, so you will actually find some of them. Not that you'll find all of them instantly, if you get what I'm saying. So this could be a negative in the future, but I can't exactly comment on that now, because like you see right here, I'm only level 51. So I'll go ahead and slap you now with my official verdict. Just for a reminder, bing! I gave it a 5 out of 10 before, and so far I'm going to rate it on what I know about the game up until this point. Like I said, I'm level 51, so just got into World Tier 3, did a couple Nightmare dungeons, but I've been doing a lot of these vampiric areas, the, not Hell Tides, but the Blood Harvests, and we did a few Hell Tides like that too and stuff. So based upon what I've seen, the quality of life changes, this new seasonal thing that I don't know if it's going to stick around forever. The last season stuff went away, but perhaps if this goes over well, maybe they could keep it. I would just from what I've seen so far, I'd bump it up one number to a 6 out of 10. I'm having a good time playing it. A 5 out of 10 is a kind of a mediocre game, but it can still be fun to play for a little bit here and there. And this might be a similar thing where it's fun to play. It's a little bit funner. I did like the 1 to 40 more than I did in the previous version of the game. Do I think it's the best game ever made? Guys, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Take for that what you will. But maybe you might enjoy picking it up and playing it from time to time, maybe between Diablo 2 seasons, or if you're a Diablo 3 player or something like that, or when a new game comes out, go ahead and play that for a little bit. Coming back to D4 for the new seasons and seeing what's up. Feel free to let me know your comments about the game down in the comments, but go ahead and keep it civilized, people, if you would. So peace out, fellas. Keep slaying.